All right, guys. Well, it is 9 o'clock, April 25th, and glad to see you guys are here. We're going to talk about something really cool tonight after we'll see if you guys have any questions. But I have a really cool, I think it's an amazing idea by one of my friends we're going to share with you here tonight. But we'll start off if you have any questions or anything like that I could help answer and kind of give everybody a few minutes to kind of join and enter the room here. Make sure you have your coffee. I hope you're all staying safe during this pandemic that we're having here. State of the Union here is that we have been very busy, still very busy. We have launched the new feeders department where you could supply you with crickets, night crawlers, hornworms, waxworms. I know a lot of you have been taking advantage of that, and of course, all the prices have shipping included, so you don't have to worry about paying that or what fits in the box and all that stuff. Tried to make it really easy for you guys. I know, like I said, a lot of you guys have been taking advantage of that, and we have different bundles, which will save you even more money if you want to get a Pac-Man bundle or a dart frog bundle. It's kind of tried to cater it towards what species that you guys might have. So, in addition to that, we also are really, really ramping up the dry goods section. Adding new stuff constantly. But I'm always looking for suggestions. If there's an item or items that you guys don't see up there that you think that we should start carrying, I'm always game for that. We can add anything that you guys think is going to be necessary. So, been very busy for with getting both of those departments up and running this week, and so I apologize if it's been just a bit slower with getting back to your phone calls or emails or texts or things like that. It's just been really crazy, and of course, on top of that, having my little one with babysitting the whole time, you just always have to basically juggle, but it's all right. All right. Does anybody have any questions tonight? Are you guys seeing everything okay? Or I see that there's a few of you guys watching. If you can just type in that chat bar and let me know that you're seeing everything and everything's working. All right. So now we're going to talk about something that uh, I think is an amazing idea. My friend Tom, who does shows out in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, came up with an idea to do virtual shows. And I think it's ingenious. I mean, listen, we all miss shows. We miss going out there. We miss being able to kind of see the animals and talk to the people and the vendors and, kind of getting that variety. Well, obviously, we can't do that right now. There's no way that we can go out and uh, there's no shows. And I'm not even sure you're going to see shows for the better part of this whole year. This might take a long time. So, what Tom has developed is a virtual show. So, how it works is, and all you have to do is go to reptilestream.com. That's reptilestream, STREAM.com. And tickets, if you buy them in advance, are only $5. And guys, that's $5 per computer. So your whole family could be on the computer shopping with different vendors, and it's $5. That's an amazing price. And how it works, I talked with Tom a little bit earlier. So you're going to be able to go to different logos of the vendors or names of the vendors. So say you want to shop with the Frog Depot, you click the Frog Depot's vendors. It's going to basically come to a video like you're seeing here, and we're going to have a little show display right here in the living room, to which you're going to be able to see the different products, different dry goods, the different frogs we have for sale, and you'll also be able to chat with us in a public chat where everybody can answer questions. But then there's also a private side of which too, if you want to purchase something, we go into a private chat together and figure out the sale prices and doing all of the purchasing necessary. Sorry, guys, I'm going to quick move so this thing does not die. I apologize now for all the shakiness, but it's just giving me the low battery. And come over here to my desk. Didn't realize that was dying on me. So, yes, anyway, so you can see the animals live. You could talk to the vendors live. You can barter and basically go ahead and work a price for your animals. And even better, they have worked out a deal with a shipping company. I apologize. I can't remember if he said it was Reptiles for You or Reptiles Express or which one it was. But basically that they get a discount shipping rate so that we can ship all these animals to you when you purchase online. It's the closest thing you're going to get to a reptile show. And it's even better than the site because we can put all the animals together like a display and have it here for you to see in the video. And, you know, obviously our video isn't the best in the world. We're not very sophisticated, so my phone's actually better than this camera. So I don't know if, you know, we're going to do it on the phone or doing a video on the camera here. I'm not sure yet. So we'll figure that out. We have a week to figure it out. It's next Saturday. So it is May 2nd, and it's from 10 to 1. So it's a 3-hour window. I guess it's $5, guys. $5. I mean, $5 for 3 hours of seeing different vendors and shopping, and that's for your whole family. You can't beat that. That's less than the price of one admission to any show. All right. So we'll take a couple questions here. I see you guys are typing in. Thanks for joining us. I've seen some Crested Geckos guys have a lot of success doing the online auctions. Online auctions are good and bad. They can be good at selling, but they also can really drive the market down. We used to do leopard geckos for a while. We've done some auctions and other breeders to the auctions, and it's it could be a slippery slope if you don't be careful. So that's why I think this idea by Tom is just amazing. I think it's going to be good. I don't know how they're figuring it all out behind the scenes with all the technical stuff. Good luck to him. I wouldn't be able to do that. So Dark Master, would two different species with the same albino or color morph be under the same name? Like, would Samurai Blue morph of two different species be the same name, like an albino is always an albino? I think you're a little confused on the species. So there are no other albinos other than Cranwells that I know of. There are no albino cornuta. There are no albino ornates. I wish there was. That would be amazing. But there isn't. So if you see an albino, whether it's a strawberry albino, a regular albino, an apricot, a strawberry pineapple, they're all Cranwells. And they are all the same type of Pac-Man, just a different paint job. And Samurai Blues are also a morph of Cranwells. The majority of morphs you're going to see in the Cranwells because they've just been around a lot longer. All right. Oh, and I apologize. I totally put 8 o'clock in the updates on Facebook and not 9 o'clock. That is totally my mistake, guys. I apologize. Too many things at one time. So what else can we talk about tonight? We thoroughly went over genetics last week. I hope you all enjoyed that part of it. My wife's tree frog is going crazy hearing your voice. It's because I'm the frog whisperer, I guess. I'm actually right below me is the White's Tree Frog room where there's probably like 45 or 50 adults. So when we get rain, oh man, you hear it. I love the whites, I really do. They're fun. In fact, we get a good rainstorm, we hear all kinds of stuff. The Pac-Mans are calling, the whites are calling. We got Borneos call every night, and it's like a rainforest down there. I really enjoy it. So a lot of people say, well, how can you have all that stuff in your house? That must be really, really annoying. But it's not. It's really not. It's really kind of fun. I enjoy it. Um, so Charlie asks here, can we talk about some bird poop frog husbandry, tree frogs? Talk about Marmorata, not the Theloderma. Theloderma bird poop frogs are majority of an aquatic type setup with cork bark, but the bird poops are less of an aquatic type setup. I currently, when we get the babies and we're working with the captive bred froglets, and this is with most of the tree frogs, you keep them simple. They go on damp paper towel, very shallow water dish, and you could use fake plants, and that's it. You want to keep it very simple for all of the tree frogs. Appropriate heat and things like that. But you don't want to get crazy with it because that's where you end up running into issues. Now, as they get older, you certainly can put them in more of a dart frog type setup. You could even do a water feature if you like as well. But the small guys, room temperature, they eat very small crickets or fruit flies when they're babies, and they can eat all the way up to a half-inch cricket as adult. Keep in mind they're only going to be, half dollar size as adults. They're not a massively sized tree frog, but they're not babies either. Do Pac-Man frogs burrow to cool down? Is a heat bulb a better source for heat? No, I never recommend heat bulb. Anybody. There's tons of different husbandry tips and tricks out there on the web, and you know what? There's more than one way to do things. Don't get me wrong. I am not the end all to the care, but I don't think light bulbs should be used with most frogs because it can be very dangerous. Now, sometimes you could get away with white tree frogs, but you got to be really careful with basking lights and frogs. It can really dry them out, can kill them very quickly, especially with Pac-Man. Pac-Mans burrow because they're ambush hunters. Keep in mind, in the wild, they're not bright yellow and bright teal, and they're green and they're maybe tans, and they're blending in with the dirt. So they're burrowing down. They're sitting there waiting for their next meal to come across. They're not active hunters. I mean, look at them. They're huge, fat-bodied animals. So they're burrowing to kind of camouflage in there. And of course, it is going to cool them down a little bit too by doing that. But I don't think that's the main reason that they do it. I think it's more so to feel more comfortable. Sorry for looking at it at 8 o'clock. Again, apologize. Crickets, yeah. We have about 15 to 17,000 crickets down there at any time too. But we try and stay away from the ones that have wings, so I don't really ever hear them. There's a pro tip for you. Buy anything that's less than adult size, and you'll be okay. Does everybody have their coffee? Yeah, that's the way to my heart, right there. Good coffee. There's a pro tip. All right, what else we got here, guys? Different Pac-Man species. So there's a few of them, and I'm going to butcher some of the names because I'm just not as we don't have them, so I'm not quite as familiar. But we have Cornuda, which are Argentine horned frogs. We have Arita, which are Brazilian horned frogs. We have Cranwells, which are the most common ones you're going to see. There is Ornata or Ornates, which you're probably familiar seeing. There's Joseiensis, or we call them Josies. There's also I'm going to really mess up. Periodii. It's a really small species of Pac-Man, which we've seen here in the States a few times. It's not very common because people don't like, small Pac-Man. And there's Stoltzmani, and I believe I hit them all there. And we just don't see albinos in the other species yet because they just haven't popped up. Keep in mind that all these morphs are random mutations. So when they come up, we have to develop these traits, which could take years. And sometimes if things aren't like smack you in the face different, it's very tough to develop things. So, and and I think there's only one or two people in the whole country breeding ornate. So, to my knowledge, an albino ornate has not been made here yet. I don't know about overseas. Um, so, and as far as albino cornuta, I think that would look badass. Pardon my language for any kids out there watching, but I think that would be amazing. But again, you're not going to see them, so it is what it is. There, hopefully one day will pop up. Your dad has been acting pretty weird lately. You know, Alex, I cannot help you with how your dad acts. So you might want to ask your mom to look into that, I guess. That's a problem I can't help you with. Are you going to start doing the package recycling program? That is a great question, Jesse. I was going to bring that up, but we can bring it up now. So basically, what the recycling program is it helps a bunch of different ways. Number one, it helps with the environment. So we have these shipping boxes that have the styrofoam in it, which you can't really do anything with the styrofoam. It's garbage. So what I thought of is if you guys ship me back the small boxes, and you can ship them back any way you want to ship them. Doesn't matter. Snail mail, USPS, I don't care if it takes 2 weeks to get here. When it gets here, we will add a Pac-Man from one of our spawns, so it has to be something we produce, to the next order you place with us, live animal order, for free. Absolutely free. So, you get to basically recycle something that's going to get thrown away. If you're not shipping and using them yourself, it helps us keep the cost of shipping lower by being able to recycle that, and you guys get a free frog. So everybody's getting something. So I think it's a great idea. So hopefully more people take advantage. I know a couple people have and have sent me some boxes. So we're working on a page on the website. It goes a little bit more detail. So hopefully you'll see that soon. No, a golden and a honey are not albinos. Now, there was supposedly albino white tree frogs in Australia, which you'll never see here, because unfortunately we can't get any of this stuff here, so that's not going to happen. But basically, they're a mutation, like almost, I don't want to say exanthic, but they lack the green, so they are a yellow or like an exanthic type morph, but they're not an albino. They do not have red eyes. So in that case, it's just a different morph. What do we got going on here? Alex, I don't even know what you're talking about. Burning stuff and things like that. I think you got more problems you might want to go take care of than watching a YouTube video. What kind of frog would be? It would be a Pac-Man frog, one from one of the spawns that we have. You want to hand deliver the box? I'm totally fine with that as well. As long as the box gets here, it doesn't matter. That's all that matters is it gets here. If you can hand deliver it, saves you money. Do the different species breed differently? My brother has been thinking of breeding one of the less popular Pac-Mans and would like some advice, especially since you're the big guy in the industry. I don't think I'm the big guy in the industry. One of the guys. I don't think the big guy. Do they breed the same? No. There's similarities in the way you go about breeding them, but they're all different. And breeding takes years. I mean, I get this question all the time, guys, and I really don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be dismissive, but we're not going to teach you how to breed. And I'm not saying that's what you're saying down there, but for a couple reasons. Number one, it's a long learning curve process, and I don't want to be responsible if something goes wrong, because a lot of things go wrong. So we're not going to go down that route with the whole breeding deal. So, and on top of that, you can't breed other species until you've mastered Cranwell's. And that takes years. It definitely does. I mean, to know every single thing about it and make sure everything is working absolutely perfectly, and you have it mastered before you should really move on to ornates or cornuta or arita. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. So they are different. So my suggestion would be a lot of research. There's a lot of information out there on Google. And to be honest with you, I get asked that question at least 3-4 times a week, and I point people out there to the Google, and I don't know what it is nowadays, and don't take this the wrong way, Dark Master, but because I'm not saying you're lazy, but a lot of people are. They want it handed to them. They don't want to go out and do the legwork, and they just want you to say X, Y, and Z. This is how we do it, and that's it. And we're not going to hand you the keys to the Corvette without doing the work. I mean, that's just how it is. So my suggestion was, it took me, it was almost 6 months that I just was researching and looking and doing all this stuff and looking at scientific journals and really kind of going to town. So that's my suggestion, is really kind of going out there and spending the hours of time researching, because it's way more fulfilling then. So I will get off the breeding horse now, but I thought that required a little bit more in detail. Yeah, I need a trim, Ryan. Where I can't go. You gonna come over here? You're gonna trim? I can't go to the hair cutters. That's okay. Um, Research and practice. More research than practice, because you're messing with a live animal. So you really want to be careful, because if you're deciding to go hormonal breeding, you're using drugs, and there's very, very small margin for error. So be careful. Definitely make sure you put the time in. Do you ever use canned insects? Looks like here Jesse gave him a shot, and they had the most aggressive feeding response they ever had. And it's interesting. I have never tried canned insects with Pac-Man. Obviously, I have a slew of live, options here, so I don't really do that. But we are trying to get them in. Are trying really hard to get the different canned foods in, because I do have a lot of people asking for them. So that's a product that I'm hoping to start carrying here in the next couple of weeks, is the canned food. So let's see. Ryan, your message got blocked. There you go. The best books or books in the market. Most of it's not books anymore. It's all digital. It's all Google, scientific journals. Showed my frogs your Nightcrawler video. They didn't agree with you. They didn't eat your Nightcrawlers? Get out of here. It's like giving them crack and they say, no, we don't want it. But they didn't eat it for you, Tom? Yes, females can severely attack or eat your male. It's a long process. It's all right being late. No problem. We're still here. It's what? We're like 25 minutes in. We got some more time. I still got half a cup of coffee. Ask away. Some of the staples. Jason just put his order in tonight, and he's getting some Pac-Mans this week. We got some cool stuff lined up for you, Jason. Sorry, I just noticed your name because the order came in earlier. So basically, the stuff I like to do with the babies is I'll use half-inch crickets, and I'll use like you saw. I don't know if maybe you didn't see the Nightcrawler video that I did earlier. I'll use the Nightcrawlers in little chunks, or bigger if it's a bigger frog, and works really well. So that's what I would suggest. Like the Pac-Man bundle, the hornworms, the waxworms, and the Nightcrawlers are specifically designed for small Pac-Man. Works really well. No, I'm not showing you any mutants. I'm in my living room. I can't. I don't have any mutants up here. I don't own any mutants. I can't show you them. I don't have them. I sold them all to this shippy guy. He was a real pain in the ass for him. How long does a train weigh? Well, I'm Sean, I'm not really sure what you asked there. How long does a train weigh, true or false? Not sure. I don't know what you're asking. Do we breed our own feeders? No, but we are very close to the farm. We have a feeder farm that's real here, so we pick them up fresh every week. So we're able to go ahead and get you guys, basically ship out all the feeders that are crickets and hornworms every Friday. Everything else goes out every day. So we want to make sure it's fresh for you and also keep the workload off USPS because they've been really, really good, but they can go ahead and take a little bit longer with delays right about now, as you can imagine. Mutants are a different, a weird strain of Pac-Man, real weird morph, where they come in all different weird colors, like all white and pied and bluish toned and translucent. So that's what they're talking about there. What won't an Arita eat? I don't know. I mean, they probably would eat everything but baby children. So they eat all kinds of stuff. I mean, margaritas are like ornates. They're crazy, crazy, crazy feeders. Yes, this is a Q&A. Yes, yep. Do you hope the more obscure Pac-Man species get more popular? Also, opinion on the screaming of the frog of the budgets. I think they are popular. We had Cornuta for sale, and I easily sold 4 Cornuta every Cranwell. We sell more Arita than we do Cranwell. We sell more high red ornates than we do regular ornates. I think they're extremely popular. But I think Cranwells are the gateway. Pac-Man, people get into them and the readily available morphs, and then they start purchasing all the other ones. So I think they're really popular. To be honest with you, I don't know of a subspecies that isn't. If anything, I think maybe the lowest popularity would be just a regular ornate. I think regular ornates are awesome, but they're probably the lowest on the scale. Everybody loves the high red ornates. They're up there. And the screaming of the budget frogs, which you probably saw in the video earlier, that's just what they do because they're trying to seem tough and scare you off, and then once they realize you're coming with a nightcrawler of food, they quickly eat it, and they realize you're not going to eat them, that you do not you mean them any harm, and they're absolutely fine. So it's a defense mechanism. What's up with those Taiwan videos showing 10 Pac-Man frogs in a sinker tub? I haven't. No clue what they're doing. I mean, as long as you're there monitoring them, I guess you're fine. They want to show off their animals, so I think that's how they show off to them. So it works really well for in their case, I guess, to show off their breeders. Charlie's asking why ship them on Friday. Well, because Saturday and Sunday is USPS's least busy days. They do a lot of shipping at the beginning of the week. So if we ship them to you on Friday, it's 2-day priority shipping, and there's extremely smaller chances of delays. So that means your bugs are coming to you Monday morning because they've traveled. Now keep in mind, USPS is traveling and they're moving boxes around, but they're not shipping they're not sending postal workers out on a Sunday. So it gives them a chance to catch up. So it actually helps with the delays, not getting into them. So that's why we ship out all the crickets and other stuff then. Now we'll ship out waxworms and night crawlers throughout the week. They're different. Chippy, I'm not sending you any budgets. Get him from Dorkwall. He can ship them to you. Will budgets be available in the future? I'm hoping so. When we do get them in, we get very small numbers because there isn't very many breeders of them. There's only 1 1/4 that I know of. So basically, their spawns are way different. Everything's different about them. The tadpoles are way more difficult to get to adult size here. So basically, you see a lot less numbers. Now, the last round that I was able to get, they were not sold. They're staying here. I'm going to raise them up, and who knows? Maybe I have some luck early next year. We'll see. Right now they're doing fantastic, so I want to try it. It's another thing I'd like to get more in the market for you guys because we have a lot of requests for budgets, tons of them. Yep, Charlie. Yep, I saw the pinheads. We already took care of you for that. Thank you again, much appreciated. Yep, Ryan, you're right. Dorkel can't do anything. You're absolutely correct. I'm still waiting for my 100 lot of everything. It's not going to come, is it? All right. Any other questions? So just to recap, anybody who might have come in a little later when we made the announcement of the virtual show, go to reptilestreams.com. They're having a virtual show next Saturday from 11 to 1. It's an amazing idea. It's $5. $5, guys. That's it for the whole family. And you get to choose which vendor you want to go and interact with. You see all of their animals or products or supplies, and then you could chat with them just like you're chatting with me here. But then you could also go into a private chat when you want to talk deals and prices and things like that. So it's like being a reptile show without being there. Unfortunately, we can't be there, and it is what it is. But it's an amazing idea. It's $5. I mean, we're going to do it. I'm going to be there. It's going to be in this room. Behind me, I have a huge table. So I'm going to set up a bunch of supplies and a bunch of basically our show setup, which are totes of all kinds of frogs for you guys to see, and we'll have it set up so you can purchase there. And I hope a lot of you guys come out and support the effort. I think it's a fantastic idea because I know I'm jonesing for a show. So we got to do something, right? So we're gonna, and there's also, like I said at the beginning, there's discounted shipping that they're doing through a certain service. So, I mean, it's a great thing. So clear up your schedules, guys, next week from 11 to 1. That's May 2nd at I'm sorry, 10 in the morning to 1, I believe it is. Let me double check that. Sorry, this computer's really slow. I know it goes to 1 o'clock. I'm gonna post way more information about this on the regular pages so you can really see it because it literally just came live and I talked to Tom tonight. So, like I said, we're gonna do that next weekend, May 2nd. Make yourself available because you're gonna have a great time. I think it's gonna be fun to interact with you guys. So be there or be square. All right, what else we got here? Josie Stoltzmani, weirdest frog species you know of. Weirdest frog species I know. I think Pipas are really weird. I've had them. They're fun. They're just really, really weird frogs. And yes, we do have Amazon milks here. We do some breeding on the Amazon milks, but then I also have a local breeder who helps me out to try and keep up with the demand of those guys because you guys enjoy them and they go out, and we finally have them in stock, but I think we're already halfway sold out. So if you're looking for Amazon milks, hop on thefrogdepot.com. The site, Tom, is Reptile Stream, STREAM. It's going to be updated throughout the week. He's got some crazy ideas, with going in and doing the different products and basically a virtual flea market. It's amazing. I think it's a cool idea. And I know he's spending a boatload of money to get this up and started and marketing and things like that. And like I said, you could sit at your desk just like this and you could shop. You don't have to worry about elbow to elbow with people and trying to get somebody's attention. You're right there with them. I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to go well. Do you keep any other pets other than frogs? I do. I have Sherlock here. Sherlock, come here. Come here, Sherlock. Let's see if it. Come here. You sit. I don't know if he's going to show on here. Sit. No, you're all excited. Huh? No, what do you think? Okay. My buddy. That's Sherlock. he does not help me with the frogs. Keeps me busy. Keeping an eye on him, don't you? So I got Sherlock, and then I got a couple Panther chameleons that we keep for fun. We also have some translucent veils, which I really enjoy, and guinea pigs, which you might hear in the background, which is my little girls. Um, but mostly frogs. Frogs are, probably, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 frogs. Those are my big ones. But I've had tons more in my life. I've done monitors, tons of species of geckos, all that stuff. We have a bearded dragon down there. One bearded dragon, one male. That's kind of the token dragon that hangs around. I forgot about him. He's right in the middle of the room. I shouldn't forget about him. But that's it for other pets. Do you like keeping large exotics or small ones? When I worked at the zoo for 10 years, I loved working with some of the big hoof stock like bison and zebras and giraffes. They were really fun. But I do prefer the smaller stuff. Really, the cold-blooded things were more my deal. Do you believe the frog industry is growing into a stronger industry than some others? I don't know. I don't really honestly pay attention to the other industries anymore. I pay attention to the frog industry really closely, and I think it is really strong right now. I think it's booming, and I see the Pac-Man world growing leaps and bounds every day by going into these chat rooms and you guys viewing the videos and the questions that we get, and the attention has been through the roof in the past 6 months. So I think the frog industry is on an upswing. I think it's going to stay that way for a while. Like I said, I honestly don't know about the other industries. I did leopard geckos for a little bit a couple of years ago, and I know that was not a good market. Am I afraid the dog might accidentally eat a lone frog? No, because he doesn't go anywhere in there. He won't go in the room. So he's more worried about people getting into the house. I'd be way more afraid for that person than I would be for the frog. He doesn't go after him. Every once in a while, he might chase a cricket, but he's not interested in the frogs. The Elite Four, Fantastic Four. Inside joke, guys. Sorry. Do I ever come to Kentucky or close? I don't. The closest that I get to Kentucky is Maryland. We do the Havre de Grace show, and that's about it. And even like some of these smaller shows, I'm going to be canceling. It's just too much to go down there. There's way too many shows in the Pennsylvania area now. So we're going to really kind of be focusing on our main ones, which is Hamburg and White Plains and Oaks, Reptile Show, the Greater Philadelphia Reptile Show, and Battlefield. But like I said, there's just too many shows that are getting so close, and we really have to concentrate on our online presence and make sure everything is going well for you guys to get out. So and there's we are a company of 3 people. Me being the only full time, so I can't always go ahead and do all the shows, unfortunately. Fantastic Four, it's much better, I'm telling you. What do you consider a mutant and lifespan? That's a tough question. A mutant's a mutant. I don't really know how to describe it other than if you saw them, you know that they are a mutant. They're undeniably. It's a Cranwell. It's a mutant. There's something really different. So lifespans. I mean, honestly, lifespans I've seen the same as other Cranwells, and here's the truth of the matter, guys. You could have it doesn't matter if it's Cranwell or an Arita or or Cornuda or Mutant. I mean, Pac-Man frogs can just, you could do everything perfect and they can fail to thrive. It happens. They're frogs. I mean, generally, if you give them the best of everything, they do very well. But there's a reason why frogs have a lot of offspring. It doesn't matter, even from a red-eyed tree frog all the way up to a Pac-Man frog, they have a lot of offspring. And in the wild, they're not all going to make it. That we do our best to that they all make it. But as far as lifespans go, sometimes, and I see this, it's the part of the industry that nobody wants to talk about, and I don't even like talking about it. Nobody wants to talk about something dying on somebody. It's a horrible experience. It sucks. Now, a lot of times it's because of husbandry. There's a mistake. Frogs don't have as much room for error, like a ball python or a leopard gecko. So sometimes it's just something that needs to be changed, and then you're fine. And sometimes it's not. But you have to go through all the processes to get there. You have to, go through your setup and figure everything out, and you'll be fine. Do we get matching shirts or rings or discount cards? I think I'm going ring, really, but you're gonna have to pay for them. Do we ever go to Tinley? Um, I've been to Tinley when we did leopard geckos. I've tossed around going to Tinley with the frogs, but to be honest with you, I don't like being in the car that long. That's a good 11, 12-hour ride for us, and that's a stressful ride with that many frogs. Because we have to bring a lot of frogs to make that worth it. So, because tables are like $400 or $500 a table, it's really really expensive. So, I love the show. It's a fantastic show, best show in the country, one of them, to be honest with you. But I don't know if we'll be doing it for a while. Um, Matt ordered a 5-pack on Tuesday and was wondering if he'd be getting it Monday. That's a great question, Matt. Always check the website because we do a lot of updating. And the way the website works is so when we process the order, you get an email. And then after that email, when it actually physically ships, you get a shipped email. And that means it's going overnight, so you're going to receive the next day. We ship only on Mondays and Wednesdays because we're trying to lessen the load and not go towards the end of the week for FedEx, and that seemed to work very well. We have had some issues in the past 2 weeks with the supplies. We weren't projecting this much business, and we ran out of supplies. Yeah, and one week the supplies were late, so that was out of my control. But thanks to you guys, you're keeping me busy. We just didn't have enough stuff to do it. So yes, Monday they're going to go out all the orders, and then you're going to receive on Tuesday, hopefully by 10:30 in the morning. Ever thought about making merch? I've thought about that. Maybe one day. I just bought logo stickers, if that counts. I don't know. I just don't ever consider us that big of a company to do merch. But I guess if people would rock it, we would do it. I don't know. Something to think about. In the future, possibly is getting shirts or something like that. Wow, we are at 43 minutes, guys. We have done a really crazy. This might be the longest question answer we had yet. It was really slow at the beginning. I was worried nobody was going to show up to the party. Anybody have any other questions before we call it an evening? Yeah, yeah. So Charlie got a surprise frog. It's doing very well because when Pat ships, 40, 50 plus boxes in a day, sometimes I make mistakes. I'm human, guys. It happens. And, I try and make up for those mistakes. And she got an extra one. So it happens, but I try my best to make sure everything runs like a well-oiled machine by myself. And I do make mistakes. So I apologize for that. Try to keep them at a very minimum. But it seems like I'm good for one at least every shipping day because when you're packing, you know, probably 200-300 frogs in multiple orders. It gets a little crazy. Sean, you're right. It does get better every time. It really does, and it gets better when you guys are interacting because I really love chatting with you guys. This is the part of what I do that I really enjoy. That I can sit down, you guys can ask questions, we can all interact, and then people can watch it for later. You know, this is what it's all about. It's what I want to be here to have the time to help you guys. Really. All right. Any other option aside from USPS for shipping frogs? We do not use USPS for shipping frogs. We will never use USPS for shipping frogs. We only use FedEx overnight. Because years and years ago, we did UPS. I did not care for them. There was a lot of delays, a lot of issues. FedEx, I think, is the biggest and the best to, you know, for delivery. They get it done, and they allow me to keep the price at you know, a level where I can keep it affordable for you guys to still get that overnight service. So we will only use USPS for dry goods or feeders. That's it. How wet is too wet? I'm assuming you're talking about the cocoa fiber for the Pac-Man, the 5-pack. What you want to do is you want to take the brick, put it with the water, let it expand. Keep expanding. And when you take it out to put it in the frog's cage, you squeeze it till it stops dripping. Then it's perfect. That's it. It's always the squeeze test. These stickers are really small. They're not. They're like this big for the dry goods, but I can work on some stickers. I mean, I'm not really good with graphics. In fact, I'm really just learning everything that goes with the website, and spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on that website to make everything work and right. And shipping's a nightmare to get set up, and so I'm really not good when it comes to graphics. So if any of you guys are good with graphics or making designs, send me a private message. I would love to have some work done, and maybe we could do some cool stickers that we can get out to you guys. I see tons of variables and options. I'm sorry, Jason, you got to be a little more specific. I'm not really sure what you mean there. Do you mean with the substrate, or I'm sorry, just if you could clarify a little bit, that'd be great. Sherlock fell asleep on us. Sleeping on the job. Yeah, the FedEx drivers, they're much better. I mean, granted, you know, there's some bad apples in every tree, but yeah, they seem to really get the job done very well. I love our ornates. They're you know, and to be honest with you, this is to be 10,000% honest. The ornates are not bred here. We have a partnership with the Frog Ranch, which we work with them, and they breed the ornates. In fact, I mean, there's like nobody who really does the ornates. Now, I have a bunch that I'm growing up, and I'm hopefully going to be able to breed ornates later this summertime. You know, it depends on size and, you know, eggs and all that stuff if they're ready to mature. But I would love to make my own because, man, those things are awesome. They eat really well. They're kind of like cruise control. I mean, they're really phenomenal animals. By the way, we have some really nice size ones for sale right now. Just beefcakes. Are the chocolate milk frogs real? Yes, they're hard to find. This is the first time I've seen captive bred. I mean, I think it's been done one other time. So, like, I think I have 25 left, and that's it. So, if you're interested in chocolate milks, oh man, jump on them because they're very hard to come by, and they're also really freaking cool frogs. They look fake, but they have the appetites of a White's tree frog. They're amazing. I really dig them. Yep, substrate. And you could buy that, Jason. You could buy that substrate in a brick, or you could buy it loose. You'll find it on our site too. We sell it's cocoa fiber. You could buy either option. If you want to make it really easy on yourself, we sell the loose stuff that's already pre done, wetted. You could just throw it right in the tank. Makes life easy. Oh, we're running out of coffee, guys. How green are the green fantasies? I think they're pretty green. They're almost entirely green. We have some really nice ones down there in stock. Uh, but to be honest with you, I like the flame fantasies better. Um, like it's one of the rare morphs where a tan actually looks really orange. Both fantasies are cool, but I like to joke and say that the green fantasies are the poor man's Cornuda, green Cornuda. But they do phenomenally well. But I like both. But yeah, the greens are really green. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you. I worked very hard to make sure that the best selection you're going to find here of anywhere. And that takes a lot of work and a lot of stress. So thank you. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to be wrapping it up. We're almost at an hour, which is phenomenal. But Pat's almost out of coffee. So if anybody knows good coffee out there, let me know. Always looking. And I can be bribed very easily with good coffee. So, again, check out the virtual show next Saturday at Repcal Stream. I'm going to plug it for a third time because I really honestly think it's a freaking awesome idea. I'm glad somebody was able to put this together. So check that out next Saturday. I'm going to be there. We're going to have our own little virtual spot. You can check out Frogs. You can talk to me live. It's going to be a good time. So I hope everybody is staying safe as usual. Again, I really appreciate you guys coming here and spending your time. And I hope this really does, benefit you guys, because that's really what I want to be here. If you need help, that's what we're here for. Spread the word. Check out the new video that I put up today with the Nightcrawler feeding video. It's freaking awesome. It's a whole bunch of baby Pac-Mans eating all kinds of stuff. So, Death Wish. I'll have to try that. That sounds like a good. Might not drink that at 10 o'clock at night, but I don't know. I have a pretty high tolerance for caffeine. I don't think it's going to bother me. So, again, stay safe, guys. Until next time, we'll see you. Hopefully, I see you guys next week at the virtual show. Just come here, spend some time. It's $5, and you're going to have a good time. Have a great night, guys.